Hi, welcome back to the Healing and Heals podcast. I am your host, Christina, and this is my co-host for today, Bree. Hi. So, you guys, let's get into it as the people on y'all little stories and stuff be saying. I don't know if it's TikTok, Instagram, one of them be saying. Let's get into it. But let's get into it. We're gonna talk about struggle. Let me explain why. Because the Lord said so. Short answer, right? The big God said so answer. So I started studying struggle actually the last episode. And then God changed it at the last minute to elevation. And now I see why. Because in order for us to talk about struggle, we had to explain the elevation portion. Mm-hmm. We had to talk about how at a different level and different positions you see differently and you are to operate differently. And there comes their own set of risk and their own set of challenges and its own set of struggles. The same thing you do in a flat, you struggle to do in a high heel shoe. So it made sense as to why he said, no, do elevation first and then do struggle. So we're going to talk about struggle today. And this episode is going to be a little bit unique, okay? So this is going to be very much so relaxed and, I'm not going to say unpolished, but very much so casual, okay? So if you're watching this live, tag your friends in, share it, because we just gonna have some real good old-fashioned girl talk, okay? Because everybody know the struggle is real. There is nobody under this sun who has not struggled in some way, shape, or form with something. Now again, whether you wear high heel shoes or not, that is not the problem here, okay? That's not the main issue. The issue is everybody has a struggle, and very, very often we talk about it zero. Especially in certain cultures. We just do the whole, I'm a strong woman, and I can do what I need to do, and, we really do not discover our voice in struggle, so to speak. We don't know how to talk about it, because so often we get condemned if we talk about it. Well, you shouldn't be complaining, you got to speak those things that are not as though they were. And, we get all kind of Jesus take when we say something about a struggle. Well, the Lord will make a way. We get all of that. But I'm not doubting it. I know the Lord will make a way. He done did it 1,000 times for me. I'm not saying that I won't be stronger. We got all the songs. I've had my share of ups and downs. That sounds real cute, but my struggle don't be that cute. Come on. My struggle don't be no share of ups and downs. That's not, hey, Marvin, we love you. Like, I love the song, okay? We done praise dance to it 1,000 times, okay? Thank you for that addition to the praise dance ministry. But my struggle sound real, real nasty. My struggle sound like, oh, gee, what we gonna do? Oh, I can't take this no more. I'm sick. Like, that's what my struggle sound like, okay? My struggle sound like I want to punch folks in the head. Like, that's what my struggle sound like. It ain't that cute, okay? But with that being said, like, how do you find a way to talk about struggle without people wanting to stick Jesus tape on it, so to speak? Like, I'm not saying we're going to wallow in our sorrows and, we're going to just live a life of depression, but is it okay for me to tell you, I ain't got to do like today? Which is exactly what I'm about to do. I am not today, and I know you struggling too, but you gonna have to carry this load today because I ain't got it. So I'm gonna leave this off to breathe, but I want to define struggle, okay? Because God gave us another word, and we're gonna talk about it. But struggle, by definition, Oxford Dictionary says to make forceful or violent efforts to get free. Maybe we've been looking at struggle wrong. Not that it ain't bad, not that it ain't defeating, not that it doesn't feel like the world's about to come to an end. But maybe we've been looking at struggle containing the situation that we're in versus how our response should be. I'm going to say, breathe. Hit me with it. Like, maybe I think we just been looking at it wrong.
Agreed. So talked about I'm a big, strong woman. I don't need no man. I don't need nobody. I don't need, like, I did all my, I had to grow up at an early, I was
right.
I grew up at an early age.
Yeah, right.
I ain't had no friends.
Right.
I've been bowing my whole life. We go through all of the things. But at the end of the day, like when you come to, like you said, church, and we're talking about church, and people are like, well, God can handle it. But at the end of the day, my Lord said, if you ask, right, like that's how you're gonna get what you need. That's how the door is gonna be open. So when we think about struggle, a lot of times it's like, oh no, you have to be able to speak to the God to say, hey, this is what I need. Petition. This is what I need. This is what I'm struggling with, and I know that your goal for me is to be free. So if I'm struggling with it, then obviously I need to bring it to the person who can break, which I say break every chain. So like that's what I think, and especially I know I was talking to one of my coworkers the other day, and she's an older woman, and she was like carrying a whole bunch of stuff back and forth because we had concession stands, and it's a whole bunch of boys walking around. I'm just like, oh, okay, Miss says, let us do that for you. And she's like, no, I'm strong. I'm like, yeah, you're strong, but you don't have to be. Right. Like, you don't have to carry this by yourself. Right. If you really feel like you have to carry it, by all means, but you don't have to do it by yourself. And so I think a lot of times we have it as a badge of honor, the struggle. Mm-hmm. Like we cling to struggle because it's like, but this means I'm strong. Yes, and that's cute. And I love that for us. But at some point, we can understand that we don't have to be. We are strong women, but we're not defined or affirmed by the level of struggle or by the level of I'm riding and I'm a ride or die. I can get punched in the face and still love you tomorrow. That's not how I'm gonna tell you I love you. That's not how I'm gonna show that I'm strong. I'm gonna be strong because I'm gonna understand that I don't have to do this. It's not this like a king or a queen piece on a chessboard sacrificing herself or going out and getting in weird position just because she can move in any direction. Just because you can move in any direction, you looking at me like chess. No. That's real good. Just because you can move in any direction doesn't mean you have to. That's why you have other pieces on the board. And at the end of the day, everybody has the same goal: protect the king. Everybody has the same goal: protect the king. So, if just because we have something, just because the struggle is there and the struggle is real, doesn't mean we have to hold it to ourselves. We don't own the struggle. What they say, the battle's not ours; it's the Lord. We don't own the battle. Okay.
Yep. So I'm gonna jump in because I'm gonna confess my sins. Y'all know I'm about to confess my sins, right? I got some more. Say pray for me, okay? So I got a good friend of mine who happened to be holding that camera. Her name is Jackie Love. J Love on the Facebook. If y'all want to shout her out, she also does Insights to Strength. We're gonna point that out too. But Jackie told me today. I was like, Jackie, I can't find my phone. She was like, that's because you was the part of the doing too much ministry. My. What? I'm telling you the truth. No. Clutching my non-pearls? Like, what? I was a what? She's like, yeah, because you around here doing too much. Jesus. How about sometimes the struggle, we be putting it on ourselves. Like, we just be voluntarily struggling. And then when stuff falls apart, we want everybody to help us. Because I want Jackie to help me find my phone. She looking at me. I wish I could flip this camera around. She looking at me like, but I want you to help me after I done put myself in struggle and did too much ministry. Right? And now I'm looking for my phone because okay, wait, I ain't even never said. Okay, wait. I done lost something in a struggle that I didn't even have no business. Come on. I done, in the name of helping folks. Because see, it wasn't Christina wasn't out here. I wasn't out here struggling because I done jumped out and, trying to do drugs or, out here drinking and smoking and selling. That wasn't it. I was trying to do right in the house of the Lord and doing too much. I done put myself in a struggle and lost something of mine that belonged to me. Everybody else getting what they need. I done lost something of me. Because on my phone is attached to all kind of stuff. Personal information, all kind of, I done lost lost a chunk of me
Talk about it.
in a struggle for somebody else. I ain't have no business.
Not no business. Come on.
I ain't have no business.
Come on, get it all out.
Now that what I do is not necessary, this, that, and the other. No, but sometimes it's too much for me.
Everything good ain't everything God.
Listen, and then she preached that word. That's what she did. And the Lord stepped me upside the head with it. But this is what I want you to talk to me about, Bree. Talk to the people. Because so often you said something that was like, boom, boom, bam, bam. We glorify the struggle. Like you said, it's a badge of honor. And hear me, because I don't want nobody to ever be like, you all just, no, I'm super transparent. I say with the utmost pride, I say we, that I am the first person to volunteer for a struggle. I want you to look at me real good. I'm one of the first people to volunteer for the struggle.
And volunteer her people too.
I will volunteer for the struggle, okay? And even on the other night, we were having an event, and the event's over, and the person telling them, you guys can get ready to leave, this, that, and the other. I volunteer.
Well, tell her
And say, y'all can just leave your trash, we'll get it. My whole squad, folks that I knew 10 minutes, turn around and said, what you say that for? They home, they can pick up their own. I said, I'm trying to be hospitable. They said, why? How about we be, I think, I'm talking about me, because I don't want nobody else feel like I'm talking about you, because I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me. I feel like the struggle shows how strong I am. And I need to not only, I really don't do it to remind anybody else I'm strong. I think sometimes I do it just to say to myself, I can handle things. Because there's some things, oh Jesus, there's some things that I feel that are real deal, my struggle. But there's some things that I feel so helpless in. Oh, this is good to me. I feel so helpless in, and I know I can't make a forceful effort, or I can't even put forth no effort to do anything about that. Because of those areas, I fight so hard in areas that I can do something about. I can pick up the trash. I can go from this person to that person, and I can pray for this person to that person, and I can add all of that to the plate. But the stuff that the real struggle, the one that really matters, I can't do nothing. I feel so helpless right there that I think I create a struggle that I can win in. Because nobody likes to lose.
Right.
If I go through a battle and I know I can beat you, that would be just like, okay, I know Bree and I, we are roughly about the same size, roughly about the same height. Like, if need be, I feel like we pretty much even, right? So if it's necessarily a battle, which it never would be, let's clear that up, it never would be. But if there was a battle, like, I wouldn't necessarily feel intimidated by it, right? But in the same respect, if it's a 6'2", 300-pound gym rat, I feel helpless. Now I would probably, and this is where I'm gonna go ahead and bust bullying, because bullying still go on with grown folk. Let them want that out. Y'all just be acting like bullying in schools, bullying at your job, bullying at your house, bullying at your church, bullying at your friend spot and everywhere else, okay? I would probably pick a fight with Bree quicker than I pick a fight with somebody that's 6'2" and 300 plus pounds, right? Because that's the one that makes me feel there's no hope. I'm defeated. But I would pick on something that I know I could accomplish. Flip that to the spiritual side. You may not attack your drug addiction, but you don't have no problem saying, "Ooh, child, I'm working on my words, because y'all know life and death is in the power of your word. So I'm working on not cursing." But you know you don't really cuss like that for real, no.
Come on.
Like you might say something if something fell on your foot. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody pull out in front of you in the middle of traffic or something. But you ain't no everyday cusser. Like you ain't one of them people who can string 5, 6, 7 words together and make a whole statement. Like you ain't no real cusser. But instead of dealing with the real issue, you will pick something out to attack that you know you can defeat, instead of really making the effort to overcome what you know you need to
So
overcome.
let me just take a moment to say we started a fast.
Yes, we did.
I'm sure everybody started a fast. We started a fast.
Yeah.
Speaking of fast, Lord, in moment of transparency, we started a fast at the beginning of the year, and in my soul, I was like, okay, Lord, I'm gonna give up sex.
Mm-hmm.
And in my life, I'm like, I'm not out here having no sex.
That's easy to go.
And January the 2nd,
Okay.
and 3rd and 4th and 5th, my soul was tested. So God was like, oh, so this is what you thought.
Okay.
You thought this is what you were about to be able to be. Oh, no, there's going to be a struggle.
Okay.
And you lay this before me. But it's because not only did you lay it before me, but you laid it before the devil. And he saw it. And he was like, oh, well, let's go ahead. If that's where your struggle is, let's go ahead and fight you there. And I want to take that to what Minister Shawana was talking about today, because I took my notes. She said sometimes we need deliverance because we did things out of a desire for what only God can give us.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for affirmation. We were looking for acceptance. I know the last couple of years I've been battling rejection because, like, when I grew up, I just was so regular. I would say, like, I was together. I didn't have things falling apart. My parents didn't have to worry about me, so I always felt unseen. And so, I ain't gonna say like you, but like somebody I know, I was trying to find my value in what I could do for others.
Yeah.
Right? I was like, okay, I'm gonna put myself out there. If nobody else is gonna be present for you, I'm gonna be present for you. You need some money? My one account is in the niggas, but this other one got money in it. You got this money. You need my time, you need my energy, you got it, because I saw myself being validated in that. I saw my value attached to what I could do for you. But then it's like, Lord, I am so tired. Right?
God.
God,
Oh, you Christians
I
have
see
acquired.
my needs, Lord. I know that you see that my house is going without Jesus. And he's like, the storehouse.
Well-
You're taking the sword out of the storehouse.
Well-
and giving it away. And it's like, if I told you to do something, then I'm going to replenish. I'm going to restore. But I'm not going to restore when you unstore.
Oh,
I
my.
didn't tell you to do that.
Oh, my.
And it's like sometimes, again, a good thing is not necessarily a God thing. It's like I'm giving. I'm not being used. I'm giving.
Okay.
I'm giving. And so it's like, yeah, Lord, I did a good thing, but did I do the God thing? Because the God thing is preordained. That means the stuff is already laid up. That means it's already somebody on the way to, like, I prayed, the angel already on the way. It might be being healed about something, but that stuff is already on the way. When I'm just giving out of my own strength, which look at that. When I'm giving out of my own strength, there's nothing to compensate for that.
Yeah.
And then you were talking about overcompensating. That's what I heard. When you were saying, I can't beat this, but I can beat that over there. And then again, when you're coming from a place of overcompensating, you're in a deficit in and of yourself. You can't see yourself because you start to think, oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that, like I thought when I started this fast. And then God was like, humble, sit down, be humble, cross your legs at the knees.
Okay.
And I did. and I sat down. And he's so faithful. That's what they told me to
That's
say.
what they told me to say.
He's so faithful.
Thank you, Dr. Shawana.
Listen. And he's so faithful. He's so faithful. Just a keeper.
I agree. I think that for most of women, especially mothers, we have the tendency to give, and it becomes a natural
identity
thing. Like it becomes exactly your identity. Like when you think of a mother, everybody says she's such a giving mother, loving mother. What they really mean is she stripped herself of everything physically. Let's just talk about natural. You and I both have had children. Your body, the first thing they tell you is you eating for two. Listen. Oh God. When people say to you, you're eating for two, what they're saying to you is you need to consume more to compensate for the fact that some of that is about to go out.
Come on.
But do you know that the statistics say most women actually lose weight their first trimester? And it's because the baby is pulling so much from them that they're not pouring in enough to compensate for the loss. So although they say you need to eat for two, very few people actually do that. And they end up depleting themselves of what they already had. I was already this size. Now here we go with a baby that done stripped me down, and I'm losing weight. Then the doctor going, you need to eat more, you need to. And you're like, but I'm eating as fast as I can. But it's going out quicker than you can put it back. That's a struggle. The baby's struggling to get everything it's needed, right? And the baby gonna get what they need.
What they need. It's gonna be
Any
you.
doctor will tell you the baby gonna get what they need.
And leave
You're
the
gonna
rest.
be the one ratchet.
My mind.
They're gonna be sleep and comfortable, and you can't even turn over. You're gonna be having all kind of pains and aches, and the baby is cushioned. How often are we in distress because we're not replenishing ourselves in order to give out to others? And I'm talking about mothers and women, because we do that so often in the natural and in the spirit. We will, like you said, go without. We will give up. We will sacrifice. We will devote all our time and energy to you, and then complain about, oh, my back hurt. Ooh, this baby weighing me out. Well, let's talk about the fact that you got the baby. It didn't jump in there.
It did not jump in
The
there.
Holy Spirit only impregnated one person, and it was not you.
He is not doing it.
We got the situation,
Come on.
whether we happy about it or not. But how often do we take on things, and then when it starts stripping us, we don't do the necessary adjustments? Because see, there's one story in the Bible where it talks about Jacob wrestling with the angel. Some translations say he wrestled with God. Whatever version you want to read it, right? But long story short, Jacob wrestles with the angel, and the angel's like, let me go. And he's like, no, I'm not going to let you go till you bless me, right? He physically fought. So when the angel realizes he cannot obviously shake Jacob, he touches his hip, right? Causes him some agony and some pain. And then, he decides, I'm going to bless you, right? How often is it that we struggle and put forth a fight for everything and everybody else, but we don't put that same energy into and say, no, I'm not going to let go of this until it blesses me. I'm not going to stop pursuing my dreams because I've had children, or I've gotten married, or I have work, or I don't have money to pay for school. How much more progress would we see if we really put forth that violence? And I'm talking about forceful. I'm talking about, I'm not going to stop till it's done. If we gave that same level of enough if you book to our own stuff, how much more progress? Because it's not that we don't struggle.
Because we're going to struggle.
We're going to struggle. So if we don't struggle, it's going to go wear it as a badge of honor. Let me do it for something. For me, because see, I've been wearing it because I done struggled for you and you and him and her and them and they. If I'm going to wear the badge, if I'm going to struggle, you're going to do it, right? It's life. You're going to struggle. If I'm going to struggle,
in the book.
When are we going to take time to struggle for ourselves?
And can I say that it is a disservice to God to not be stewards of what He's given us? And not just that, it's the children. Like, I think about my son, I'm like, I want him to see me happy. I don't want him to be turned out to God because I'm like, oh, I'm struggling because the good Lord wants me to let people try it all over me. Like, no, God takes care of His children. I don't want him to think of God. We saying He's a good father, and we ain't got no lights, and it's not because of something that God told me to do. Like, He will prepare for us, and so it's like, no, you can't just for the sake of, oh, I'm just going to do this because that's what the good people do, or that's just what other people need to do. If it's not for God, you can't justify the struggle to me at this point. Because like you said, the word says we're going to struggle. It's going to happen. I'm not going to do it just for you, just because Jesus did that.
I agree. And the last word God gave us was contend. Contend pretty much means to struggle, to surmount. What that means in layman terms is you put forth an effort to conquer. Surmount means that you have overcome,
Yeah.
and now you're on top of. So you struggle with the goal of conquering and becoming over whatever issue or situation or thing you have struggled for. So for me, when you tied into a high heel, because that's what I do, when you put on a pair of high heels, the ability to walk in them, run in them, jump in them, shout in them, when you have defeated what should knock you off your normal course, that's a victory. We have to contend for ourselves, and we have to be able to struggle and go in and fight for ourselves. And we have to be able to do so with the goal of, I'm no longer going to be the same. No longer will I be wobbling and waving. The first time I put on a 4-inch pair of stilettos, I was standing in the store and I looked in the mirror, because you know they got the little shoe mirror where you can see how you look in the shoe. And so I put the shoe on and I stood still. And I was like, oh, these are cute. But the first step, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. This is higher than what I'm used to. Back to that elevation. This is higher than what I'm usually a 3.5. 3.5 inches is what I love, right? But I was going to get this pair for us. That was bad. It was kind of late.
I'm seeing them already.
But I was like, whoa. When I got ready to move in them, when I got ready to operate in them, they did not do like the 3.5 did. And so I struggled to gain my balance. But when I figured out how to stabilize myself, how to move in them, how to walk in them, I test every pair of heels to make sure they're shoutable. I'm a shouter, I'm a dance, I'm going to run. So I need to make sure the shoe going to be able to do that, because I'm not going to go out here and try to shout in no shoe and then be
I can see you in these
broke my ankle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in these folks' stove trying to get a praise break in and make sure I ain't gonna bust my face. But I conquered it, bought the shoe, love the shoe. Point is, you have to find the thing, number one, that you truly struggle with. Not the one you put on yourself, not the one that you done volunteered for, not the one you did because of your lack of self-esteem or your lack of self-value or your intimidation of others. Not that struggle. The struggle is real. And you need to figure out what your real struggle is. And you need to contend for that. Contend in that space. Stop trying to fight all these battles that ain't yours. Stop trying to go out here and struggle and wear it as a badge of armor. And if you that ain't your real struggle, you need to find what your real struggle is and contend in that. I'm going to let you close this out, Bree.
The spot. This is obviously one of my struggles. So, yes, I love this, even though it's a very transparent thing. So shout out to that. Again, we are not therapists.
No, we are not therapists. We're not therapists. We do give out good advice, but this is just us living our journey. Go see your people, okay? Go see your people.
Yes, and thank you for obviously enjoying another episode of Healing the Heels.
We love y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.